Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. What is going on, guys? It's Generational Wealth Wednesday. What's going on, family? When Mullet is in the building, what's going on with Mullet? Life is great, bro. What's up with you? Got my books in, man. I'm pumped. I'm pumped, bro. Got my books in. Man, we're getting ready to head out. We're getting ready to head out of town. Oh, nice. Finally saw the sun. I hear that, bro. Oh, it's been crazy. This weather, man. This weather. Looked like BK came down with something, man. He was sniffling big time. Yeah, and we're getting ready to head out too. Yeah, we're getting ready to head out for a freaking week. Yeah, man, we're gonna talk a little bit from Fake by Robert Kiyosaki. We're gonna talk a little bit. He said something. He answered a question about digital assets, so I figured I'd give him a shout out and say what's good. Forrest Whitaker's I see you, Siege. Hey, what's good, bro? Good to see you, Forrest. Where you checking in from, bro? I don't think I've seen you in the street before. I would recognize that name. Oh, that's Forrest Whitaker's. Yeah, not Forrest. Forrest Whitaker's. The Forrest or Forrest? Good to see you in the stream, my friend. You caught me off there. Got a little dyslexic right there. Hot Atlanta. Oh, good. That's what's good, bro. That is what good. Good to see you in the stream, man. How'd you find out about the channel? So I got this in a couple of days ago. A couple of days ago. Fake by Robert Kiyosaki. It says fake money, fake teachers, and fake assets. How lies are making the poor and middle class poorer. Wow, that's heavy right there. How lies are making the poor and middle class even poorer. That is interesting. Read some questions, and read some questions, and I like some of the answers he said. So you know what? I'll give him a shout out. Do a little talking about his book today. When Mullet, thanks again for thank you so much for putting that link out, man. You're always coming to the channel, brother. I appreciate that big time. You find out about my channel from Kimes Force it? Cool. Appreciate that, man. Be Free is in the building. Kimes has been putting in some work, man. Every time I turn around, Kimes got a video out. Dude is putting in the work. Maxim Waters Bunions. Oh. I don't know if is that a dude or a girl? Yeah, I watched that a few days ago. That was a good one, Matt LaRoche. Good to see you in the stream, brother. Big time. Just watched Robert Kiyosaki's podcast with Harry Dent via YouTube. Interesting. Was that the one where Robert kept screaming at him, Matt LaRoche? Harry. Was it that podcast? Oh my goodness. Harry. I'm like, man, this dude is yelling at the guy. Is that the one you saw? Maxim Waters Bunions. Good to see you, my friend. I don't know if that's a female or male. Is that a picture of a foot right there? That's a picture of a foot. Or the little picture. It's interesting. Little pop on the BTC, just a little one. Yeah. Wasn't too bad. Yeah, slow down, Harry. Yeah, that one. Robert is a trip. He is he's what's the word? You know, you could tell he's been around for a while. Let's put it that way. I definitely have mad respect for what he's trying to do, and how many people he's helped by just bringing value to people's lives, right? And in the meantime, creating cash flow, right? Right. That's a cool way to be, bringing value to people's life, and at the same time, bringing in cash flow to your family. So that's really, really cool. MG is in the building. Siege, what's up? What's up with you, MG? So I came across. I was reading the book, and he had his first set of questions, I guess, in the book, and one of them was about Bitcoin. I thought it was interesting, so I figured I'd give the guy some shout outs, go over some of his stuff from his book. Now, traditionally, we've been reading, as of late, we've been reading Garrett Gunderson's book, Killing Sacred Cows. But as soon as I got this book in, I had to pick it up, and then I came across these questions. I had to pick it up. I had to start reading it. I came across this question. So let me read this question to you. And check out this guy's answer, and tell me what you think. So this is his first set of questions. This is only on page 50, and it is basically what he did was your questions, Robert's answers. Okay, and so Robert answers all the questions, so people must have turned these questions in, and he answered them. So, one guy from Italy said, Franco S. from Italy says, Bitcoin has been crashing lately. Do you still think it is real money? Legendary is in the building, and TJ is here. What's going on, TJ Jackson? Crypto Don Juan is in the building. What's up, my dude? So, Bitcoin has been crashing lately. Do you still think it is real money? And Robert Kiyosaki said, yes, but not necessarily Bitcoin. But not necessarily Bitcoin. I believe blockchain technology will change the world because blockchain technology is more trustworthy than government money. I prefer gold and silver for the same reason. Gold and silver are far more trustworthy than the people running our governments, banks, and pension funds. I found that to be an interesting answer. Do you still think it is real money? Because a lot of times, when people talk Bitcoin, they kind of lump all the other digital assets in with that. But he said, when he asked the question, do you still think it is real money? He said, yes, but not necessarily Bitcoin. I found that to be very, very interesting. He says, 7 practical reasons why I own real gold and silver. And so the idea has always been, I heard him say this in a podcast, I think it was on Kitco News, and an interview on Kitco News, and he mentioned that, he has thousands of ounces of gold, right? And but he doesn't spend it. So I've always heard the hedge, right? Gold is the hedge, and the hedge, and it's the hedge, and the hedge. But I never really thought about it the way he talks about it in his book, and I just started getting into the 7 reasons why he owns gold and silver. But he says it's just a flat insurance policy for, he says, against the elites. So for the elites, kind of mishaps and mistakes and foolish ways of doing things. So it's insurance for when all heck breaks out, I would imagine. Because how do you cash in that, right? You got auto insurance, right? When you get to an accident, you got auto insurance to cover stuff. So if you're not spending the gold, if it's just only acting as insurance, what are you doing with it? How is it acting? It has to be some kind of crazy thing. Like the collapse of the dollar, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, he says it holds it as insurance, just like he would any other kind of insurance. Just holds it. So interesting. So guys, what do you think about that answer? What do you think about that answer? John Edwards is in the building. Good to see you. He says, yes, I still think it is real money, but not necessarily Bitcoin. Interesting. Sahar Sound is in the building. Good to see you. Let me see. The XRP Joe is here. What's up, XRP Joe? XRP Joe's got a YouTube channel, guys. Make sure you go check out XRP Joe on YouTube. Be free. Is Bitcoin a safe haven? Is Bitcoin a safe haven? Yeah. So, Robert Kiyosaki says he believes that it still is real money, but he says not necessarily Bitcoin. So he's in the technology. He gets the underlying technology, and what he's also saying that he's walking away, if you will, his he understands that there's a difference between the digital asset BTC and the underlying technology that is distributed ledger technology and blockchain technology. But not when you say yes, but not necessarily Bitcoin, right? That's what that means to me. Sway Z is in the building. What's going on, my friend? Good to see you on Wealth Wednesday. Yeah, I know, right? Legendary says, oh, XRP is the one. Yeah, that's what you know what I mean? I don't know if it's XRP, but the fact that he gets that, I think a lot of what he's saying is he understands that Bitcoin technology might not necessarily be the one, that there are other technologies, other digital assets with better technologies there. You know what I mean? Because why say yes, but not necessarily Bitcoin? You know what I mean? Could have just said no, not necessarily. So he believes in the technology and some other digital assets, right? XRP Joe says, hope everyone is safe and well today. Happy Wealth Wednesday to you all. Thank you, man. Happy Wealth Wednesday to you as well, brother. That's an interesting answer, I think. Read between the lines, says Swayze. No, you know what I'm saying? That's an interesting answer. Matt LaRoche says, I think money is anything of value that is outside the central bank system. Currency is central bank thing. Yeah, how about that, brother? I found that answer to be very well interesting. I told you guys in the stream before, this channel before, that I got rid of all my gold and silver to get further into digital assets, mainly into XRP. John Edgar says, Siege, I'm ready to be part of the newfound wealth, brother. Boom. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. You know what I mean? So anyway, so that was an interesting answer to that question. He's just starting to go here into the seven practical reasons I own real gold and silver. He says real gold, not that paper stuff. Real gold and silver are not investments. Interesting. Risk number two. Reason number two, he says, is no risk. All investments have risk. Real gold and silver have no risk. Interesting. Real gold and silver have no risk. Man, he went to a really big thing about that, talking about credit default swaps. And here also. Credit default swaps. And reason number three, gold and silver attract real wealth. Wealth attracts wealth just as poverty attracts poverty. So reason number three, gold and silver attract real wealth. Interesting. Reason number four, why real gold and silver? Why not paper gold and silver exchange traded funds? He goes over that. Reason number five, he says the system is broke and broken. The gap is growing. We are on the verge of class warfare. For that one too. This is an interesting book. I'm looking forward to really getting into it. Him and Jim Rickards are putting a book together also, which I'm excited to see that. Okay, you didn't go over 6 and 7. You stopped at 5, unless I'm not. Okay, there's number 7. Where's number? Reason number 6: God's money versus government's money. Okay, and then God's money is easy to acquire. Okay, interesting. So there it is, guys. Again, since he answered the way he answered that question on BTC, I figured I'd give him a little shout out on his book. You guys might want to consider getting his book. And here's his other book. Don't know, Matt LaRoche. I will let you know, though, my friend. I will let you know the answer to that question. Is he referring to perceived value of gold and silver, to being like on the other side of the seesaw, to the perceived value of the currency? Always weighted accordingly. Yeah. I'm not sure yet, because I just started. I'm only on page 50, so I'm still trying to gather in his perspective and his thoughts, and kind of put it all together. Of course, in everything you read, you always want to apply the principle of discernment and everything that you read. You can't take everything for what is everyone's word, right? You got to be able to kind of gather in what makes sense to you, and kind of put away stuff that don't make sense to you, and then kind of come to your own conclusion, right? So I'm still gonna delve into it some more, kind of see where he's getting. Now, I've been a fan of his for a while, read a lot of his books, and a lot of his, a vast, really, really big majority of his message does resonate with me. So I shall let you know. And this is his other book. His other book, Who Stole My Pension? This is by Robert Kiyosaki and Edward Seidel. Who Stole My Pension? Yeah, I'm ready to get out into the mountains for 7 days. I'm gonna, get out in nature. I'm gonna have a lot of time for some serious reading. Really looking forward to that. Who Stole My Pension? Again, I told you a couple of Wealth Wednesdays ago, I was literally just about to reach out to my friends and like, dude, you dudes need to strongly consider tapping out on that TSP you got. It's not looking good, and this was after listening to Harry Dent as well on that particular podcast, as well. Was it Matt LaRoche and Win Mullet? That particular podcast. Yeah, after listening to that, I was like, but then at the end, he said something about if you can get into some other, get out of the stock fund and get into some treasury bonds or whatever. And I think that the particular TSP that we were part of as federal government's employees, they had a C fund, an I fund, an F fund, and a G fund. And I think the F fund might have been made up primarily more so of the treasury things and the bonds that he was talking about, that it's okay to be in that one. And so many people are going to get wrecked. They are legendary. You're 1,000% correct, man. And they don't know. Like, they don't know. And the challenge is, especially as a government employee, what's your recourse? Like, you willingly let the government, you may pick a fund, CIF or G. You might pick one, or you might pick one of those projected, retirement date funds where they kind of do stuff based on your projected retirement. But in the end, you gave them your money and you picked your thing. What the market does is what the market does. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know that they take that money and they go out and do a lot of other different things. And there's no recourse for the mistakes that they make. There's no recourse. XRP Joe says, collapse the chat and smash those likes, folks. Then come back and join the chat. That's absolutely right. Thank you, XRP Joe. I appreciate that. Absolutely appreciate that big time. So, that, made me a little nervous on that, but I didn't do it because I know they do have those different options. And I think the F fund might take care of that. It just might take care of that. So I was online today, and I know a lot of people in the stream are gold and silver fans, right? And we all know the importance to having some gold and having some silver. And I'm certainly going to get back into gold and silver, in the near future. But right now, I'm definitely focused on digital assets. We'll do different things to the portfolio when the time is right. But for now, every fiat dollar that I possibly can get, I have to put it in, what's going to be the best return for my investment. So I was online looking at something. We were doing something on Amazon. And I think I might have been checking on the status of my book, Who Stole My Pension? And this came up. Man, this doesn't have the title in here. Oh, it's heavy. Let's see if I can check it here on purchases. Is Morris in the building? Morris Priest. Oh, there he is. Morris Prince C7. What's going on, bro? Good to see you. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see. Orders. Now, why would it not have that? I ordered it. I did it on Kindle. Yeah, it doesn't keep track of it. But anyway, it is a book about. I did it on Kindle just so I could get it now, but it's about being your own banker. About being your own banker. Oh, legendary! Wow, legendary says my father is getting a Teamster's pension. I've gotten them to get silver, but they got tricked into a derivative gold fund. Oh, ooh. I'm working on them to get them physical gold instead. Yeah, I hear that, bro. Hopefully, you'll be able to, make that happen. Physical is so hard to get, legendary. Not much choice around. Yeah, it is. It is very hard to get, but that's going to change. That it always changes. So the ability to get it, you may not be able to get it now, but ultimately you'll be able to get it again. What about this concept of being your own banker, guys? Have you ever thought about that? So two things. Gary Gunderson talks about that a lot, being your own banker. In fact, he has something that I'm looking into. I got it on my phone. I haven't gone through it yet. It is. First one. Cash flow. It's called cash flow banking. I'm reading something on Kindle about being your own bank and the principle behind it. It's an interesting thing. Obviously, it has to do, with that old concept of insurance as not as a a life benefit, but for financing and investments and stuff like that. I'm reading over that as well because I think that's important. Yeah, it's too late for now. Yeah, it really is in terms of being able to get that physical gold and silver. It's going to be challenging. I mean, you can still put the orders in, but it's going to be some delays in getting it. I've always used AppMex, and the first thing they said is, first notice is like, it's going to be delays in getting it. We'll take your money, but it's going to be delays in getting it. So let me share this with you guys because I just that's the other side note. I reached out to a wealth advisor, estate planner from a law firm, And so hopefully he'll reach back today. We're going to set something up for two things. Number one, I'm going to see what they have to offer at that firm. And also, two, get him on the stream and get him to share some stuff with us on the channel as well. You guys are having an interesting chat going on. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Um, so we're gonna try to get that as well. I didn't want to forget about that. But so two things with Gary Gunderson. Number one, he's actually got a video out right now. Should you cash in your 401k, TSP, 401k, whatever? I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. But should you cash in your 401k? And I know that's just a spin off from Gary Gunderson. Gary Gunderson was just talking with Robert Kiyosaki on the latest episode as well. So it looks as though we'll see what Gary Gunderson has to say. Should you cash in your 401ks? I didn't get a chance to check that, but I did see that on my feed today. But a couple of days ago with Gary Gunderson, they were talking about being your own bank and that concept of being a bank. I like it. I like it. I'm going to look into it. I have no experience with it, but I am going to look into it. Reading this thing right here, I'm going to share that with you guys also. Interesting book. It's a Kindle version only. So I got like 3 books on that now. I agree 100%, says Matt LaRoe. Being your own central bank. They own physical assets and precious metals. Sologenic and Kava and Celsius platforms. That'll be like lending out and getting returns. Happy with positions. I feel the same way, Matt LaRoche. I really, really do. Really, really excited about that. Thinking and acting like a financial institution. That's why I have my digital assets, a portion of my portfolio on the Celsius platform. Really excited to not only hold some kava, but really looking forward to taking advantage of that platform when it's going. And of course, Sologenic as well. We talked about it yesterday, Matt. We got the Sum app downloaded. Most of the people got that Sum app downloaded. Really excited about that. Again, why we have Wealth Wednesdays, guys. It's about thinking and acting like a financial institution. Thinking and acting like a financial. Yep, that's exactly right, Matt LaRose. That's exactly right. And then screaming for people to get out of the way of the stock market bubble and stocks. I assume that would be the 401ks and funds too. Yeah, he mentioned that as well. Mentioned the 401ks as well. Get advice. Don't buy anything from him, so he'll be honest with you. Yeah, certainly not. Certainly not going to do that one, Mullet. In the end, I mean, the vetting process is it's not a 1 or 2 phone call, right? That's going to take some time. Kind of establish that relationship. You certainly have to. He gets it. We get it. You certainly have to shop around. You can't kind of one-stop shopping, right? You gotta shop around. You gotta get different people's perspectives. These things tend to be long-term relationships, so you can't just say, "Oh, okay, cool, yeah, you answered the questions right. I'm good with you." You gotta. It's a big time vetting process, and it actually involves the family as well. Involves the family as well. So certainly won't be doing that on the initial go around without question. That's good advice, my mother. Matt LaRue says, I got Zum sorted too. I keep saying Zum. I got some sorted too. Looks so smooth and user friendly. It really does. I tell you what, I had another late night, almost 2 something in the morning last night. Got about 5.5 hours sleep. Had to get an appointment at 9. And then we had a mastermind session 10-ish. And another freaking 11. Like, and then we had to go shopping and packing for a trip. So I have not had time to mess around with that Sum app, but I want to support the platforms that support us, right? So, if you guys haven't got that Sum app yet, it's in beta. Now we want to support the platforms and things that are supporting us, right? Yeah, it looks like that. It really does. So let me share a little bit. What happened here? I thought I changed the view from what I'm reading about being your own bank. Because I think it's important to start thinking like that, thinking and acting like a financial institution. I think it's so important to do so. And I think it's really important to let more and more people, make more and more people aware of the fact that we can think and act more like an institution. See something. Why did I change the view? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe. Bro, XRP is in the building. What's going on? XRP. What up, family? How are all the winners doing this evening? Doing outstanding, my dude. Good to see you in the stream. Don't have our usual players in here on Wealth Wednesday. I wonder if the notification went out. Show notes. There it is. Becoming Your Own Banker by R. Nelson Nash. Becoming Your Own Banker. And I forgot some of the stuff I had on the freaking Kindle there. So, what does it say here? What? Part 1, Becoming Your Own Banker. How the infinite banking. Some of it is coming from the life insurance business. I made a good living in life insurance sales for over 30 years. I thought this guy said he was a forester. First, a bit about my background. I was educated as a forester, graduating from the University of Georgia in 1952. I must have been reading the preface thing, I guess. Close attention. I can rather improve it in the financial future. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Yeah, so I was reading that. This is good stuff. Becoming Your Own Banker. Someone made the comment that if some authoritative power distributed all the money in the world equally among all the people in the world, within 10 years' time, 97% of all that money would be under the control of the 3% of the people. I suppose that there is no way ever to measure the validity of such a statement, but I have the feeling that most people would agree that it is probably close to the truth, even if the proportions were somewhat moderated. Say 75% of the money will be under the control of the 25% of the. Why do you think that this phenomenon happens? Perhaps some of the answers lies in the fact that most folks know next to nothing about the process of banking and its importance to their lives and their well-being. Banking is the most important business in the world. Without it, all businesses come to a screeching. So just a little blurb, little excerpt. Whenever a business transaction takes place, money must flow from one party to another in a relatively short time, or otherwise nothing takes place. That flow of money must come from a supply source reservoir. That is the essence of the banking business is all about. Someone or some organization has control over a pool of money that can and must flow at a cost meet some need. The banking business is somewhat like that. Money flows from the pool through our hands to meet our needs, but someone in the process, it all ends up in the back into the banking system. Yes, it does. And that is kind of really, really the key. Thinking and acting, just some blurb. little excerpt from that book, Being Your Own Banker. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm definitely gonna look into it. So I'm really, really intrigued by it. I have not done it, looked into it. I get the whole idea of it's insurance and that's not technically using it as life insurance, as an investment vehicle tool. But he talks in the beginning in that introduction about being your own financer, right? And so whether what kind of purchases you make, do it yourself and save on the interest and stuff like that. But he also talks about it as an investment tool. So, and again, I do know some people that have a lot very successful people. They use this concept all the time to build their businesses. I know a really successful entrepreneur who's done that his whole entire life. So the idea is to start thinking and acting like a financial institution. And I think it's so important to kind of understand that we can do that. That's why Matt LaRoche, we get excited about Celsius and Kava and those kind of platforms. Think about how significant Sum can be for us. The Sum app can be for us in the future. I mean, just think about what's happening in the financial world today. Just think about it, man. Just think about that. Yeah, well, that depends on, in the end, the more strategies that we know that's available to us to use, the better off we are. And that's what I would humbly submit to you. It's not that we can't do the same things that banks do. It's just that we don't have enough of the knowledge to do what they do. One of the the banks are one of the biggest what is the word I want to use? They use that tool, that life insurance tool, probably more so than any other institutions out there. Major companies, major businesses use it as a tool. It's just we gotta figure. Siege, if we thought March was a good month for news, April should be a blinder. Blinder? You know what I mean? So, Doobie and 2, what's going on, my friend? It's just that's what it's about, being better educated. Being better educated. That's what Robert Kiyosaki says. It says it's not an investment or something that you do. It's not risky or more risky or less risky. He says you are more risky or less risky, right? It's not the investment that's risky. It's you that's risky or not risky, right? It's the better educated you are, the more chances you have. You decrease the chance of it being risky and make it less and less risky. It's always going to be about financial education, being educated about what is available out there. I just found out, what is it, a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, something about a 401k for small business owners, entrepreneurs. I think it's a 401g or something like that. Never heard about it. I never heard about it. Some new financial instrument, for probably like LLCs, right? To, less than 5 employee type things. Yeah, some new thing. Never heard of it. I think it might have been called the 401g. And I found this out from a traditional financial planner. I mean, like very traditional, so it's just a matter of being educated, right? Oh, when Mella says Siege's Kindle is full, I tell you, I used to use a Kindle a ton. It's just something about holding a book in your hands, right? It's just something about that. Yeah, just think about, and one of the things I like so much about the Celsius platform is because you take advantage of a lot of the financial instruments the wealthy do. They're earning money on your money. Earning money on your money is huge. Cash flow banking. This is for those of you who might be interested in something that Gary Gunderson is doing. You might want to check it out for yourself. It's cashflowbanking.com. Cashflowbanking.com. I'm going to get into that, but I want to go through this Kindle first. kind of compare the strategies and kind of see what they look like. But again, for me, guys, it's about acting and thinking and acting like the financial institution. Without question, that's what it is. That is uh, um, ultimately is what it's about. Ultimately, that's what it is about. And let me read another thing from this book from Fake that I thought was interesting. Fake teachers and in part 2, fake teachers, and part 3, fake assets. I will explain how and why I do not need money. How and why I can buy what I want, and how and why I keep buying more gold and silver. I explain how and why I do not need money, how and why I can buy what I want, how and why I keep buying more gold and silver. Interesting, right? And that's kind of the position. Listen, and it has to resonate with you because, make no mistake about it, Kiyosaki will always point and he'll always say that you have to you got to get the message that resonates with you best. It's not necessarily one that's right or wrong. It's just something that's right or wrong. It's either wrong or it's right for you. Like the message from Kiyosaki resonates. It's right for me. A message from Dame Ramsey or get the female. Oh, those never resonated with me. I had been reading Dave Ramsey books since I was a teenager, and because my best friend, interestingly enough, was a pastor. We studying to become a pastor at the time. He eventually became a pastor. He's still a pastor today of his own church. And the message for him with Ramsey resonated. Not Robbins, a lady. So get her name. Blonde. Forget her name. Susie Orman. Susie Orman. Yeah, I don't know, not so much, right? So it's kind of find the message that resonates with you. If saving and sacrificing and penny pinching and being very frugal with your money and all those things, if that resonates with you, if that makes sense for you, if it makes you feel better, that's the one you should go for. Like the Kiyosaki message always resonated with me because it just made sense for me to go to work, to create and build assets that create cash flow and use that cash flow to get the things that I want. It just made sense for me to do that. And so I would take the dollars, right? Yeah, I would take the dollars, whether, from back in the day when I was trading my time for dollars, I would take those dollars invested in assets or in a business. Or today I take the asset from my business and I take that cash flow and invest in other stuff. But in the beginning, I was taking the money to invest in who I was and what my thinking was. When I came across the right opportunity, then I got, increased my skills, right? That's why I have so many books and I've read so many books and listened to so many tapes and listened to so many CDs, right? And been to so many conferences. I was investing in me to create, the best asset, right? Which is myself, so that I could learn how to create other assets. And that's what we did, right? So we create some cash flows and now we have just more cash flows to invest. Right. And so one of the biggest cash flows that you can get, one of the big assets that you can get, in my humble opinion, is your time. Is your time. The biggest assets you can get is your time. Right. So we had to invest and grow a thing, right? And grow a business where now we're in control of our time. And so that's one of the biggest assets you have. Now we can go out and create other assets that spit off cash flow to go out and kind of get great things. And some of it is funny too, because some of it is investments, right? Some, but it's not all. It's not all of it. It's just some of it will be investments, right? Because if the investment doesn't continue to spit out cash for you, right? That's the key. For it to continue spit out cash. So that's kind of the message. What is the message that resonates best for you? Is it Ramsey's, savings and budgeting? Does that make sense for you? I see there's a couple, very popular couple on YouTube today. They moved. I think they either live in Portugal. I think they moved from the States and moved out of the country and moved into Portugal. And they had made their money investing in index funds. Right, so they would save, not spend, whatever, everything they got index funds, and they eventually got that thing up to, I don't know, 2-3 million, maybe 5 million. I can't remember which one. Yeah, and they knew that in the States that money would only last a certain period of time, so they decided to become expats, right? Went out and got to another country where that 2, 3, 5 million can go a lot further, right? Can go a lot further. So it all kind of depends. What's that lifestyle that resonates best for you? And it's strict a couple. It's an African American couple, and they moved from the United States, and they moved, I believe it was Portugal. But they tell you how they kind of had made their money. They got a whole YouTube channel on it talking about, but that's their thing. Their thing is, in the traditional market, in the index funds, saving every single thing, not spending, finding all kinds of ways to save on dinner. Okay, saving all kinds of ways that they can save on dinner, save on a car ride, save on a trip, all that kind of stuff. They take that and they do the index fund thing. So, and I don't know how long it took them to get to that, to get to those millions. I don't know. But some people, that kind of thing resonates. Not so much for me, but for some people it does. Susie Orman, the money honey. Yeah. So it all depends on what kind of resonates with you. Again, being your own bank, thinking, acting like a bank, I think is significant. And let me tell you the title of this little Kindle thing, if you're interested in learning more about it. It is Becoming Your Own Banker by R. Nelson Nash. Becoming Your Own Banker by R. Nelson Nash. So guys, listen, I wanted to just kind of turn you on to that. I think it was pretty cool. I know a lot of you guys follow Kiyosaki. I did find that answer to be very, very interesting. Bitcoin has been going down lately. So do you still think Bitcoin is real money? Yes, but not necessarily Bitcoin. Then he goes into blockchain technology. This is interesting answer. Gotta know that he knows there are other digital assets out there. Gotta know that he knows that. Right? Are any of you guys following Garrett Gunderson on YouTube? What is it called? Wealth Labs. Are you guys checking that guy out? Wealth Labs on YouTube. And please remind me to let you guys know how that goes with this estate planner guy. I will definitely let you know. Tony Robbins. Yeah, Tony Robbins, he's definitely more in the financial space, in the traditional finance space, without question. Because the more when I finish reading Money Master the Game, he is definitely on the he's on the kind of well, you don't really necessarily need to make $1 million a year. You could be pretty good with $500,000 a year or $300,000 a year. So he's definitely on the more conservative side, the traditional side. I mean, he Galileo, and I think his approach was a safer approach to the masses, because I think that he knows that the vast majority of people won't take the time to educate themselves and to level their IQ up enough that they can play in the bank, in the act like a bank, think like a bank playground. right? If self-education, right? It says school education will make you a living. Self-education will make you fortune, right? But it's will you decide to walk away from the 97% and play in the same space that the people that the the ultra rich, right? The high net worth, ultra high net wealth worth net worth people hang out. That's the thing. And it's not a right or wrong answer. It's the one that's right for you. It's the one that's right for you. That's why we call it Generational Wealth Wednesdays, because this is what we all have a shot at doing, at achieving, creating generational wealth. Without question, we have that shot to be able to do that. But if we're not prepared, it can go away very, 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 very quickly, right? And so we don't want that to happen, right? We definitely don't want that. So yeah, it's called Wealth. I think it's called Wealth Labs, Win Mullet. And his latest episode was should you get rid of your 401k? I know I got a pack. So I know she's not gonna let me go over. There it is. Let's see. Yeah, it's just Garrett Gunderson is the name of his channel. 2 R's and 2 T's, Garrett Gunderson. Yeah, that's his latest thing here, 7 hours ago. Should I cash out my 401k? Interesting. I'm gonna check that out too, guys. So that's kind of where it is, guys. Where do you fit? This is I am definitely more so of the create, build assets that spit off cash flow. But underneath that is going out and creating value, creating values for people. If you do that, right? If you do that, everything else will come together. You make it a point when you wake up in the morning to add value to people's lives, everything else will come together. I believe that 1,000%. 1,000%. There it is. Thank you, Wimmo. I appreciate that. All right, guys, listen, I'm gonna wrap this I'm gonna wrap up this live stream so I can get packing and get ready. We're gonna hit the road tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully I won't get eaten by bears or anything like that. Appreciate you guys hanging out on Wealth Wednesdays. Guys, listen, these are just recommendations, right? So Fake, Robert Kiyosaki, Who Stole My Pension by Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah, and Becoming Your Own Banker by Mr. R. Nelson Nash. Just some recommendations for you guys. I hope this has been valuable to you guys. I'm going to wrap up this stream, guys, like I do all my streams, and remind you of this. Thank you, Wimbo. Old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. Digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know. That the battle for you has already been fought. And the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya. Bye. More Prince. Freaking old money.